Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Sorry it's been a while since I've done a video. Unfortunately, your life interferes with your chess. Kind of sucks, but that's the way it goes. This is a game from the U.S. Junior Championship 2016, played at the beautiful St. Louis Chess Club and Scholastic Center in St. Louis. It's the top 10 junior players under 21 years old in the United States, and it's quite a field. U.S. chess has got a great future. This is a round one game between as white Rufeng Li and Jeffrey Zhang as black. Let's get to it. It's going to be a close Sicilian, something that I've been playing for a while. I really liked it. I mean, it's. I hate playing e4 because I go against so many Sicilians, but I find the close Sicilian is more to my taste. We'll go through the opening a little bit here. You can see it's very similar. I won't say to a King's Indian, but the king pawns moving up the board are very similar. And you notice I have arrows there. To bring the knight to g3 or bring the knight to e2, we really should go to f3 with a knight, because you need this knight here to go to e2 every once in a while, and you're going to see that happening here. The knight goes to d4. He brings the other knight back, and you have to show you show a lot of patience. I'm not a patient person sometimes. You're not castled yet, and we're on move 9. You're not even ready to be castled. This knight has to move, so you have to be patient. Kick the knight. The knight can take. The knight go back to c6, but he decided to take. And this is the question I've always had, or we talked about before. Does the knight really belong on f3 or on e2 to recapture? Now that the other knight is gone for black, I think knight takes e2 is the correct move, even though a very close second, even though according to the computer, which is off screen, queen takes is more than acceptable. Then the knight goes to f3 later. But he said take with the knight instead. Then b5. And you'll see the expansion for black on the king side, or excuse me, queen side. Queen to d2. Bishop. You notice black's not castled either. And now castle for white. Now the move in the closed Sicilian is f5. As soon as white can get that in, he's doing well. And I think d4 to go after a little bit of black center is probably appropriate. Rook to d1, but f5. But Rufeng decided to go g4 instead. I won't call it a bad move. Maybe a little too ambitious. We'll see how it works out. e6, that's the problem. Allowed him to go e6 now, whereas before that e6 wasn't there. But he goes ahead with f5 anyway. Pawn takes. G-pawn takes. Rook e8. That's a little hairy. That opened white king, but he's pretty secure for right now. Bishop h6. c4, just leave it. You never want to do this. You never want to take and have the queen take, because this queen is going to be sitting there and it's going to be a big pain in the neck. c4, pawn takes, h-pawn takes, bishop takes, king takes. Tiny advantage for black, but I think this is more than playable. I like the open file for white here. Queen f4. Threading, of course, f7. Queen e7 to guard. And now d4. That's a lot of key squares these pawns control. Right here. Rook h8. You'll see that a lot now. The h file is open. Black's trying to get some counterplay. Knight g3. Rook to h4. Kick the queen. And also, so you can double up here. Queen moves and the other rook comes over. Now it looks a little tenuous for white, but it's not really. White's really okay. He's more than protected. His king is more than fine. a4. Try to get some play on the queen side. b4. C takes. Knight f6. Now, that was a pawn sacrifice. But I think black's still okay, even though he's a pawn down. Rook a to e1, knight comes over. Now, sometimes you're going to see it gets really crazy right here on the king side. And look at all the pieces. I mean, look at this here. Look at this square. Look at the pieces that are on it. And this bishop's bearing down, so everything is in play, which is really unusual. Usually just one bad piece. That knight on h7 may not be so good, but he can get right back in the action. e5, trying to bust it up. d5, trying to lock it up a little bit. Queen e3. Bishop c8. Here comes the bishop. Now, he was fighting against Granite against his own pawn, but now he's got a nice... Bishop takes the pawn. Knight g5. Now, right now, white is up 2 pawns, but I'm looking at the computer off screen. It's barely a half-point advantage for white. So those pawn sacrifices were sound. Rook to f6 to cut off the queen. Knight takes pawn check. King just goes to g2. It looks really scary for white's king there. He's really okay. Bishop b7. Try to get rid of that bishop. Now, this is where I think white miscues. Rufang Ali should play bishop takes bishop. Or maybe even bishop to e4. But he goes bishop f3 instead. If he had taken the bishop after queen takes, queen f3, queen takes, king takes, knight checks, king e3. Small advantage for black, believe it or not, but I think white's okay. But after bishop f3, bishop takes, rook takes, it's starting to get hairy for white here. Now it's a 2 1/4 advantage. Just completely miscalculated. Now, that was move 32 on the bad move. Maybe the kid was in time pressure. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, if you wanted to watch the whole entire with commentary on the closed junior championship, go to the Chess Club and Scholastic Center's web channel on YouTube, and you'll see rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the rounds are, and you'll see everything in its entirety with commentary. They do a great job. Great job. Knight g5, hitting the rook. Rook goes to f6 again. Rook g4. Now it's starting to get hairy. Starting to get hairy for white. What to do, what to do? When all your choices suck, I mean, pick the one that sucks the least. He tries rook f4 just to get some of the attacking pieces. But queen checks. King has to go to f1. I mean, what's he going to do here? Can't block with the pawn, can't block with the queen, can't block with the rook. So he goes king f1, rook h2. Now, a better move, believe it or not, was rook h1 checks. Very counter. People don't want to give up their pieces. But the fact of the matter is, if knight takes, queen mates. So the king has to move, and then rook checks, rook f2, and rook to h3, and it's over. You didn't see that. I can't really blame him. After rook to h2, knight checks, pawn takes, and it's drawn. And the computer bears that out. 0.00. The next move is rook takes g4. But just that simple move, instead of rook to h2, if you had went rook to h1 check, would have won the game. Tough break for Jeffrey Xoing, which I want to say Jeffrey is the, who's playing black here, is the highest rated player in the closed junior championship. So there you go, folks. One of the, just that small error can just kill you. And those moves are hard to find. Anyway, folks, that's one of the games from round 1 of the U.S. Junior Closed Championship 2016. Hope you enjoyed it. These young guys really are duking it out. Now, I do have to say, if you watch a lot of the games, they're really, really fun and exciting to watch. They make their errors. They are juniors, but they're really good players, and they're great games to watch. So go to the YouTube channel for the Chess Club and Scholastic Center, and you'll see some really, really good commentary. So there you have it, in my little absence there from doing my videos. So I've come back for one here and hope to catch up on you guys. There's a lot of stuff coming. Dortmund's coming up. This tournament. Another tournament's coming up. It's going to be pretty busy in the next month with videos, so I hope to get caught up. And as I always say, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.